This is the Apocalypse Survival Guide. We are here to help you survive the apocalypse. Which apocalypse, you ask? All of them, from A to Z. Each week we cover a different type of apocalypse and give you advice on how to survive. The rules are simple. We pick an apocalypse depicted in a movie and cover how you could survive that type of apocalypse. So stock up on supplies and get ready to survive. Hi, I'm Drew.
I'm Frank.
And welcome to the bunker. This week we're moving on to letter D. So let's break out our 19-sided die and learn and get ready to earn some experience points because we're going for dragons. That's right. This week's apocalypse is dragons, and the movie example is Reign of Fire. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's very good, and you maybe get a few laughs out of it. But that is the movie topic this week, and dragons is our apocalypse. As always, we'll go sort of point by point. We wander some, but we'll start with the strengths of the enemy. The enemy in this case, obviously, is fucking dragons.
Fucking dragons.
Let's see. Apparently, they spawn fast. Obviously, they fly.
Yeah.
They're quick. They're agile. They have claws. Their size. They're about the size of a vehicle. The females that they depict, and they're about the size of a big truck. The male's much bigger. They breathe fire.
Yeah, pretty strong.
Pretty strong.
Pretty good strength there.
They seem pretty smart.
Yes, highly intelligent. Dynamic aerial capabilities. Flight alone is
Yes.
ridiculous strength. They hide in the clouds. Excellent eyesight. Resistance to fire-based weapons. Resistance to appears to be even projectile weapons. Seems like their skills are pretty hard.
I guess to like small arms, they
Small
appear to
arms
be,
fire, okay,
like
yeah,
machine
sure.
guns,
Yeah,
pistols,
that's right, 'cause
shotguns.
the spears and shit.
The spear, the harpoon got them.
Small arms is a perfect way to put it. Resistance to small
Explosives, obviously. Spoiler at the end with the arrow, the
Yeah.
C4 tipped arrow. They can apparently, at least the male, the bull, we can call him, he can track back to where you came from because remember the movie where Matthew, all right, McConaughey takes his group towards London and then they get decimated. The bull comes back to the castle where Christian Batman Bale is, and then he destroys the castle and kills a lot of people. And I remember in the movie Batman states that another group tried to go to London to kill the dragons, mount an offensive, and they were tracked back to their stronghold and they were killed. So apparently they have some type of tracking ability.
Well, the bull does. It doesn't
The
seem
bull
like
does,
the females
at
can
least.
do that.
I mean, I guess we can assume, if you're comfortable with that, we'll assume that the bull destroyed this other outpost that Batman was talking about.
Yeah.
So, I guess they eat ash, they say in the movie, but they also eat meat. This is kind of I put a question mark next to this because I figure we could kind of they eat people, like they just grab the people and they eat them.
Right, but then everything else they burn it first and then they eat the ash.
Yes.
Which, yeah,
Makes-
I was confused about that whole situation.
I
as
did a
well.
little research. Don't be scared. And I looked up, can you get it? If you burn food, can you get anything out of it? And apparently, if you burn protein, like meat, the fat, the carbs, that all burns away. And all you're left with are minerals. And this is talking about dog food, but we'll use it as an example. Calcium, phosphate, zinc, and iron would be left. So they would technically be getting some minerals out of it, but I still don't get why they eat ash and why they eat. I mean, Matthew McConaughey gets eaten by the bull at the end.
Yeah.
In the beginning, when they go out to harvest the tomatoes early, don't know if you remember, the female comes in and eats the guy that's in the tomato rows, and then burns everything to eat the ash. So I'm a little confused on what they eat. I'm gonna go with they just eat meat, like they're a predator.
Well, yeah, but I think ash, them eating ash, is definitely important because that's why they burned the world. That's why they have scorched the entire earth because that's how they turn everything into food. I'm confused as well. I'm actually more confused at the fact that they eat meat and humans than I am at the fact that they eat the ash, because that would make more sense if that is just their ultimate goal is to burn everything and eat it, humans included. But it seems like they like to eat humans raw. I don't know.
But, and I'm not a scientist. We've established this a long time ago. If you've listened to even a second of this,
Neither of us.
but
are-
I looked up to see if anything could survive off of minerals alone. And they talked about some type of like plant-based life, like lichens or you know what I mean, like a moss or a fungus, but nothing. I couldn't find anything about a complex organism, you know, that has legs and arms and wings and whatever. I mean, and they do show that it's a meaty type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
it's a meat based, whether it's a lizard or a mammal. They don't get into that, but either one is not this type of moss or lichen or whatever. It needs at least vegetation or meat to survive.
Right. Yeah.
So that's where I'm a little confused.
I guess that makes sense, and I would say it's definitely a reptile because to be a mammal, you birth
True.
you birth them just as a how do I want to say
They're
that?
not in an egg state, I guess
Yes,
we could say.
yes.
I don't know what I know what you're trying to say.
Your
though.
spawn comes out in just living form, living, breathing, not an egg, and yeah. So the fact that I'm going to call him Patrick Bateman. You can call him Batman.
I'm gonna call him Batman.
I'm going to call him Bateman from
Hey.
American Psycho.
Either one would be good in this apocalypse because
Yeah.
one wants to kill and one wants to kick ass.
Yeah. He pulls the egg out of the female dragon that they killed, the first one that he saw killed, and yeah, it was an egg. So we'll say reptile for sure, but you're right, very muscle based,
Yes.
very muscular based, red meat even, because you
Yes.
see them broken open in a couple spots, red meat, and yeah,
So we'll go with lizard. I like that because of the way they birth them. We'll just classify them as big lizards.
so. I know, and we're being way too scientific for two non-science dummies, but so carnivore, but still has needs for burnt minerals in its diet as to why it burns the rest of the world. Maybe when it decimated the planet, it went around plucking and eating humans, burning everything else, eating the ash, and that's its balanced diet. That is the food pyramid for a dragon.
But near the end, the bull dragon eats one of the small female dragons because they're running out of food.
Right.
Because they've burnt or eaten everything, so he's eating the smaller
Becoming
dragons.
cannibalistic, right?
My opinion, and this is just my opinion, the reason they burn everything is they're just dicks. They say they eat it. I think they just eat meat and like, fuck you, I'm going to burn everything because I can. And if I could breathe fire,
Well, yeah. I mean, if you can breathe
kinda
fire,
fucking cool.
you kind of want to do it.
you kind of
It's-
want to burn
I
shit.
mean, it's like shooting a gun.
Fuck yeah.
I can shoot a gun, therefore I want to like plink things and shoot things.
Fuck yeah.
You don't just, I got this gun and I shot it once and then I just let it sit on the shelf the rest of the time. I mean, they have, yeah, for sure. If you have an awesome capability like that, I think I'd probably exploit it as much as possible.
I would too.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're facing a large, aggressive, flying, fire-breathing lizard.
Man.
That's the small look like the female ones, and they're the size of a big truck. Because you remember when they're in the garden area and the female lands and she breathes fire on the two big fire trucks, we'll call them. She was as big as one of those trucks.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe a little larger when it comes to length and everything, but I would say mass-wise, yeah, about the mass of one of those fire trucks.
And then you get the bull dragon, who about 3 times, maybe bigger than that.
3 to 5 times
I mean,
larger
huge.
than female. Massive, yeah. Took up the whole sky when they saw him come out over London. London. So
That's all I kind of got for strengths. Let's see. I guess weaknesses. They eat a shit ton, and that is a weakness because you think about it. As much as they have to eat, they're kind of kind of tearing through everything. They're kind of destroying everything, and they're going to eat through so much so fast that there's going to be less to eat.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They're going to starve themselves out.
right. Well, their weakness was realized at the end of the movie. They were out of food.
Yes, and I guess here's where I have a contention with the writers, and they claim in the beginning when Batman, aka Patrick Bateman, is giving his little narrative in the credits to explain the setting of the world, which I'm fine with that. He claims that now they think dragons are the reason the dinosaurs went extinct because they ate and burned out everything,
Right.
and then they hibernated until we woke them back up. But then they're showing pictures of like medieval times with the knights fighting dragons. So where did we get all this information about dragons from medieval times and
Yeah.
lore, and we'll even call it mythology? Did nobody was alive? A person was not alive in the same form they are now during the dinosaurs, even if they were whatever you believe. And we don't want to get too deep, but people weren't around to be like, "Fuck, look at that dragon! I'm gonna write a story about it." So where did they
Right.
come up with these ideas?
Yeah, and if dragons did in fact have a resurgence during the medieval times, would they not have done exactly what they did with the dinosaurs and ravage the earth and burn it to ash and eat all the people and then go back into hibernation again? But they clearly did not do that.
Yeah, because if you look at what London looked like at the end of the movie, what they said, they keep saying that they're losing contact with different outposts or settlements. We call them survivor outposts. So this would happen. This would have happened, say medieval times. Let's say the dragons got reawoken and they came out. There's no medieval apocalypse that maybe it affected most of the world and we survived, and then we rebuilt, and we could have, hindsight's 2020, and people after hearing the stories, oh, that's fucking mythology. They're just making it up. It was actually whatever that destroyed the world, and they forgot about it. Okay, I'm fine with that, but there was no attempt to say there was some type of medieval apocalypse that explains why we have any knowledge about dragons.
Right.
And it's not like they're claiming that we found dragon bones. They're just talking about dinosaurs. Their dragons destroyed them all. They went into hibernation because they ran out of food. And apparently dragons sleep a fuck ton because they can sleep for thousands upon thousands of years without any type of food.
Right.
Then they got woken back up by, Kid Batman and his mom when they're digging the tunnels. And then they came out like, oh shit, there's more stuff to eat. We're back. But where did you learn about dragons?
Right. And what happened in the medieval times? Did the bull just come out for 5 minutes and say, I need a snack? Maybe it was. Maybe it was a midnight snack in the middle of his hibernation. I'm going to come out. I'm going to eat 100, few hundred people, maybe burn a little bit, stick around for a couple months, just enough to, get a little snack and then go back to bed. That would be the only plausible explanation, because here's another thing.
Go ahead.
Because, well, that's going to go off on a sidetrack. So, yeah, and then after that, after his little snack, he just crawls back in whatever hole he was in and goes back to bed. That would be the only way that he could have come out, not destroyed the world, and then given enough for the medieval people to make the stories.
But this is where he's buried in a cavern under London, several hundred feet, because they show Patrick Batman Bale or Bateman. I'm gonna just keep throwing names together.
Patrick Batman, that's perfect.
Patrick Batman.
Instead of Bateman, Patrick Batman,
There
that's
you go.
perfect.
So he's taking the elevator ride down the shaft to talk to his mom about his bad grades, and then they show them as trying to escape, taking the shaft back up. And at the end of the movie, obviously, they crawl up the shaft to fight the dragon, and that's a couple hundred feet underground. Would you agree? About 200, 300
At
feet,
least,
give or
yeah.
take. I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty. So
A few hundred, yeah.
how much? And now, again, we're no scientists, because if you're listening to this, you know that. But how long does it take? Let's say the dragon had just a regular cave right where London is. medieval times. We'll give them that. And then all of a sudden, you have shit happening with, erosion and land building up. And you can even go to, what are these shows like Ancient Cities where they're buried underneath another city.
Oh,
But I don't,
good point.
you're talking 400, 500 years? I don't think that's enough time to bury the thing, is it? For it to be completely buried underneath. And if it needs to come out every so often to eat, is it going to let itself get buried? He's not so fucking smart now, is he?
Yeah.
How's he know people are going to dig him out?
He just got lucky that they were. And why were they digging that tunnel? But whatever.
Well, they're
he just got lucky.
some
they were
subway
digging that
or I don't know what they're.
is that what it was?
I think they just. I don't give a shit. They said something about subway or public. I don't know what the fuck. Who cares?
Okay.
But
I missed that. But all right. So he just gets lucky that they unearth him, or does he just? I don't know. Is he strong enough? He can't burrow his way out, no matter how deep he is. I don't know.
He can't expect people. He just killed a bunch of dragons or dinosaurs and ate them. So let's say they eat all the dinosaurs, they burn the earth, they go into hiding. You can almost expect more dinosaurs. You can't expect to have these little smart, two-legged, two-armed, pink bags of meat that are going to eventually come up with digging and dig a tunnel to get you out. I mean,
right. Good point.
You know what I mean?
That's not even if they're more highly intelligent than us. That's not a plausible scenario for an outcome. If you wake up and you eat all these big, like, giant lizard-like similar beasts to you, really, I mean, really, dinosaurs would be similar to a dragon. You eat beasts that are similar to you, and then you go back to sleep for thousands of years, hundreds of thousands, I guess. You don't expect to wake up to a completely different species, and if so, you don't predict that species. You don't predict that they have technology or that they're smart. Obviously, it was able to overcome all of our smarts and technology because it all but wiped us out, but still. Good point.
Here's what I'm going to say. Let's say we can either, as humans, me and you, could, in the bunker, either lay down and sleep for thousands of years like the dragon or cryo-freeze ourselves. And let's say we know that the sun is going to be gone in 5,000 years. We know for a fact. And I'm sure scientists know that in billions of years, I think billions of years, they think it'll. But anyway, say 5,000 years. We've been wrong. We got this timer. Are you going to cryo-freeze yourself in your bunker for 4,000 years, 4,500 years, wake up and pray that aliens came down with spaceships and are going to then save us from our own planet? Or are you going to work at getting yourself saved? So this is where I mean, and maybe we're going way too much into a fucking dragon movie, but you're not really showing much smarts by just crawling into a hole for thousands upon thousands of years. Even if they came out during the medieval times, 500, 600 years, and praying that a new food source shows up.
Yeah.
And again, how are you going to get out of the fucking tunnel? I mean, he's strong and fast, but I don't think he's going to dig his way. Perfect example. You take a person, Mythbusters, if you've ever seen the show, and they test a myth from the movie Kill Bill, where doesn't she get buried alive? Am I thinking of the right movie?
Yes.
And she punches her way out and then digs. So they tested whether you could punch yourself out and whether you could actually dig yourself out of 6 feet of dirt. And they proved it's completely impossible. You can't do it. So you're talking a person, and you could use scale and strength and stuff, but a person, and I think they use an MMA fighter as the puncher, who's, a professional fighter, a professional puncher, and he couldn't dig his way out. So you're talking a guy who's in peak human physical fitness. That's his job, is to be in shape and to fight. And now you're taking a dragon, and you could multiply the strength ratio by, say, 200. But if they're using those type of machines to dig through rock, there's no fucking way he can dig himself out. So he's fucking stupid. That's my point. I'm going through all that to say the dragon's fucking stupid.
He's not as intelligent.
He crawled into a hole and prayed to Dragon God that some pink little meaty thing that tastes good is going to dig him up in thousands of years and he could go on a rampage and eat him. Pretty fucking stupid.
The pink meat bag is going to do him a favor by digging him out so that he can, in turn, eat all of the pink.
That's like me laying on a couch and praying that the bag of M&Ms that I want to eat comes over and wakes me up so I can eat it. That shit ain't going to happen. I'm going to have to wake my fat ass up myself and walk over and get that bag of M&Ms.
Right.
Fuck you, dragon.
Well, I think the intelligence that the dragon has, really, if we break it down, is more. It's more of a reptilian intelligence. It's a hunting type of intelligence. It's an intelligence that is applicable only for when it is awake and it's hunting its food. It's not necessarily the type of it's not problem solving intelligence is what it is. It's not cognition necessarily. It's just when it is in its mode, when it is awake and hunting. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's just a very efficient hunter and killer, but not really smart in other ways.
I'll agree with that, but then they're trying to show how smart it is because it tracks them back, and it when they run into the city, it's watching them with its dragon vision, which clicked like a camera. I don't know if you noticed that, it went click click. We like focused in like Susie got fucking bionic camera eyes.
So it's a bionic dragon?
I don't know,
Oh,
but anyway,
fuck.
so yeah. Ooh.
Well, they did kill it, so
They did kill it.
Okay, but still,
that's my point. Is you see, it's smart, but it's not.
well, we'll apply that to the predators we have today. Tigers. Tigers will do that. Tigers will stalk. If you're hunting a tiger, it will stalk you. If it catches on to you, it'll turn around, it'll get on your trail, and it'll start to stalk you. And it'll hunt you. And it'll lie in wait, like in the, off in the distance in the bamboo forest, and just watch you and hunt you if it thinks it's being hunted and if it catches on. So again, predatorial type of intelligence.
True, but very few animals, with the exception of people, have ever hunted the ecosystem to extinction. I don't think it's ever happened other than people.
That's true.
So now it's supposed to be smart, but it's not smart enough. And I put that as a weakness. It ate up everything to extinction.
Yeah.
So you're not, I mean, seriously, if you are going to eat this big ass massive bull dragon and you rule the roost now, this planet is yours. Why are you having so many fucking bitches eating up everything?
Well, that's a failure right there.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't population control the dragons so that you have plenty of food and you can, you have the civilization of people that, hey, I'll let them go because I'll be hungry in a couple months. And I got this one over here and they'll be the month after that. So he's not that smart.
No, he's not.
He's a fucking moron.
Why would you produce so many women and have them No, it's a terrible idea. Terrible. One's hard enough to keep up with.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And you're going to have thousands of women around the world because they were obviously around the world because the Americans somehow got to London from America, from Kentucky, the Kentucky whatever they were called.
Irregulars.
Yeah. And there are dragons all over America too. So they've clearly dominated the entire world, but only in London is there a male dragon. One male bull dragon in London, period, for the entire planet.
And that was another weakness. There's only one male. What species only has one male? Now, if you're wanting to hit it and quit it, that sounds really good. Like, man, I'll look at all these female dragons. I just fly in and
one every night,
fertilize them eggs, and I'm on to the next one. But once he's dead, that's it.
And then she
and
keeps
all those
texting
eggs,
you and keeps calling your phone, and then she starts driving by your work.
She's outside, and she's,
Yeah. I mean, after a couple of those problems, you think you'd be like, maybe I need to start limiting. Just find a couple good ones. And anyway,
the one female dragon wants to fight the other one because, oh no, you didn't. That's my man. And then it's all downhill.
Right. And now you're on that one show with what's it, Cheaters? Then you're on Cheaters.
You're on Cheaters, and the host is getting fake stabbed. And...
So you just said, what species has only one male? Well, let's put it on a bigger scale. There are species that have one male per, let's say, pride.
True.
One male per pride. What if this is his pride? And what if there are, and this is just one ecosystem where the dragons is, and the dragons are on other planets with their prides on those planets. Holy shit, I just made it galactic.
It's a galactic dragon conspiracy to rule the universe.
Yes. And hey, maybe they can space travel. Fucking space traveling dragons. Now I'm blowing your mind. I just came up with that. Now, we're not just dealing with dragons. We're dealing with space-traveling dragons. I just came up
Holy
with that.
fuck.
That's
Holy fuck.
I almost wish I would not have gone there.
That's all
I
right.
sometimes I wish my
If
brain.
anyone
didn't
who's
work
listening
the
to
way it
this
does.
expects intelligent conversation, they know they've turned into the wrong place.
Yes, no, we just
Tuned into the wrong place. I guess some weaknesses at sunset. Matthew, all right. McConaughey claims that they can't see magic hour because the failing light at sunset.
right.
So they have great vision during the day. They have great night vision, but at that point where it intersects, you can't see. I'll give them that because if you've ever driven into a sunset or a sunrise, how bright it is, you can't see.
I was just gonna say I totally feel for the dragons because
Yes.
that low
The
sun,
visor
that
just
low sun
isn't
hour
low enough.
sucks
and
for
you gotta
everybody.
be able to see the car ahead of you when you're driving. If you drive,
So maybe like some dragon revos, some
yes, blue blockers, dragon blue blockers.
There you go, dragon blue blockers.
Yeah.
For let's see weaknesses. Well, for my weaknesses, I have Matthew McConaughey. That was their weaknesses.
No, I have their weakness is they fuck with Batman and King Leonidas.
Oh,
Because you pay attention,
right.
his buddy,
That is Leonidas.
fuck yeah, and he died like Leonidas does, but he goes out like a badass, and he taking dragons with him. Mm-hmm. Not in this movie, but Batman and King Leonidas. That is a pair I don't want to fuck with.
No,
That's just me.
Annette.
They
A
eat the,
net is their weakness. I mean, the one gets out of it, but a fucking net. Out of all of the badass prowess of a dragon and a net is where they get them, but whatever. That's okay.
I guess they net their wings and they fall down and they die and they
And then-
kill them.
And then the one time they try to show their example to these people that they're trying to convince, it doesn't work.
Yes, and the guy, the one parachuter guy, falls straight into the. And again, there's the other thing. The parachuter guy, the dragon is trying to fly down and eat him. He's trying to grab him the whole time, and then he finally gets frustrated. In my opinion, it's like fuck this guy, and he blows fire at him. The archangel, the guy jumped out of the helicopter, and then he's like, "Fuck this guy, I'm gonna burn him up." Then,
Yeah. I'll light them up, then I'll eat them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, not smart. So again, I don't think they eat ash. I think they're just dicks, and they eat meat. That's just me. They do eat themselves. That's not a perversion, but they that's a weakness. They eat up the system. They have to eat themselves. And this one I found funny. I remember Batman when he was with the dead dragon and he pulls out the egg. He says they hate the smell of dead dragon, like another dead dragon.
They hate to smell their
It keeps
their own
others away.
death. Yeah.
So you kill, you fucking surround yourself with dead dragons. You kill a couple and you're safe.
But they've never killed one. His group had never killed a dragon, and McConaughey, that wasn't his mission. Was Van Zandt, whatever. It wasn't his mission for just survival. Let's just kill a bunch, surround ourselves, and just survive. His mission was to rid the earth of them, which thank God that for him, because if not, Patrick Bateman wouldn't even have gone after the bull dragon, and they would just continue to try to exist. But interestingly,
but they might have survived because they might have, dragons might have just,
may have outlived them. Yeah,
Outlived 'em.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
so,
Maybe his
well,
plan wasn't so bad. Just sustain and outlive them because it was already on its way.
yeah.
Yeah, because after the bull dragon would have eaten all the females, it would have probably still continued to venture out. And as long as it didn't happen to come across their castle eventually,
Because he tracked him back, allegedly.
right? If without that key to get him to track him back, and he's just out marauding, just looking for more people to eat, he may have just run out of food before he.
But if he's so
died.
fucking hungry, the bull, when he gets back to the castle, he's got a fucking Lunchable right there.
Yeah.
Everything's right inside the castle. He's got all these people to eat. And instead of trying to tear down the castle to start eating all these people, he then decides to torch everything and doesn't eat a fucking thing.
Right.
So but then that happens that night, and then I'm assuming the next day, we can assume they come out, they get in the helicopter, fly to London, and they kill the dragon at the end. Spoiler, the bull dragon. He's eating another dragon, so is he so pissed off that when he sees this group of tanks with the Kentucky regulars and Matthew McConaughey, that he burns them all up. Then he flies the castle burns them all up. Doesn't eat a single fucking one. But he eats Matthew McConaughey at the end of the movie.
I think you're onto something. Dragons are dicks.
Dragons are dicks.
That's it. He
They're
just went to the
fucking
castle
dicks.
because he's all right. Fine. You want to come after me? I'm a dick. I'm a way bigger dick than you are, and I'm going to come and burn your castle. I'm starving to death, but I'm not going to eat any of you. I'm going to make a point by burning you all, and then I'm going to fly back to London and eat one of my bitches because I'm a dick.
He's got to be a
Dragons
dick.
are dicks.
'Cause seriously, he sees. I get throwing fire up and killing some of those Kentucky regulars or the soldiers, but then why didn't he land and just start eating a bunch of them?
Yeah.
I'm hungry. And then, okay, he tracks back to the castle. Oh, fuck you. He starts tearing it apart. Some fire knocks some shit out, but then you see him eating some people. Fair enough. He's a fucking apex predator.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be
Burns
like
them out,
us
and then yeah.
fighting a pack of cows, and we're hungry, and like, fuck it, let's burn them all. You don't want to eat them? No, fuck them. Let's burn them. But we don't. Fuck them. Let's
shoot 'em
burn
and leave 'em
all.
for dead.
And then we turn and go.
The
let's,
cow back there pissed me off, so I'm going to kill all these cows.
and then we
leave 'em
turn
for
out and say,
dead.
all right, let's eat Bob. You know what I mean? Like, we had cows there. We had cows. Yeah, but Bob's right here. But
Yeah.
man, we could have just for days.
But I really don't like Bob, and I just want to eat him.
Yeah.
You're a dick. Yeah, so are dragons.
So dragons are dicks. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Dragons are dicks.
All right, end of this podcast. Dragons are dicks.
Dragons are dicks. That's all you need to know. Dragons are dicks. That's kind of, other than being dicks, that's all I had for weaknesses.
They are dicks. Back to the, I just want to touch on it real quick.
Yeah.
The whole leaving the dragon because they don't like to smell their dead. That's with all species. That's with all species on
true.
Earth. That's why I don't know if you've ever had the distinct pleasure of smelling a dead body, but to a human, the worst smell on the planet is the smell of a human dead body. There's a reason for that. Same thing for a lion, same thing for a raccoon, same thing for, a deer. The smell of your own dead, your species dead, is the worst, is programmed into your brain to be the worst smell possible on the planet, and it's an alert system for all animals. Well, I'm going to say all animals is a general term, but let's just say that's an alert system for animals to say, I smell my own dead. That means there's danger for my kind here, and I'm going to go the other way. So
Fair
it's
enough.
actually, there is actually a little bit of science with that in the movie. With
Fair
the whole
enough.
smell
Okay.
instead.
All right. I can see that. Yeah. Because it's probably like a prime, like you're saying, a primordial, I smell dead, whatever I am. This isn't safe here. I got to be careful. I got to either get out of here or I need to be really careful. Okay.
Right.
All right. I'll give you that.
I smell a dead human. That means something here can kill a human. That means it's dangerous to me, but I'm going to get out of here. Whereas if you smell a dead mouse in your mouse trap in the bunker, you're like, oh, that stinks, but I can deal with it. It's not like the worst smell you've ever smelled. It's just like, that stinks, whatever, I'll get rid of it. Because that's not your species.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair. Moving on to the survival keys.
Where were we at? Oh, yeah.
Went to so air, water, food, shelter. We go through your survival basics. Air, the air is not contaminated, other than there's dragons in it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean. But it's okay to breathe.
Yeah. Parts per million, you're okay, because that one, it takes a dragon to fly through the air to go, fuck, now our air is contaminated because that thing.
Yes,
But otherwise, air is okay.
it's breathable. You don't have to worry about catching anything. But there are dragons in it, so
yeah.
remember their prayer: keep two eyes in the sky, keep one eye open when you're sleeping,
Yeah.
and run for fucking cover if you see a dragon. That's the new prayer, apparently. So air is fine. Water, I put fine. There's no contaminants, so to speak.
Just gotta be able to find it.
You got to find it. It's going to be scarce.
Yeah.
Kind of the stock up thing we keep talking about. Now, all right, this is kind of stupid. The only thing I would say is a dragon's got to shit if he shits in your water because they're dicks. We've established they're dicks.
Yeah, you might just
He might just shit in the water
go to your
supply.
water source and shit in it just to be a
Or
dick.
do they drink water? They would have to. Everything eats drinks water.
Right. It's a
And there's
carbon-based
so-
life form.
Yes.
So yeah, it would have to consume
And
water.
there's so many of them. Are they going to flock to fresh water? And think about it, they're so big, and there's so many of them. Are they going to drain your water?
Interesting.
Now, and so all joking aside about a dragon shitting in your water, I don't think that's going to happen, but it's going to be scarce. It's obviously going to be scarce because you got to get it, and then you got to bring it up, and you don't have as much electricity, and you might have to, I don't know if you have a well and a bucket like in the olden days.
A manual well. Yeah.
But I will just say it's not contaminated. There's no Trixie virus going back to that one. There's no any type of pollutants other than the normal boil it or filter it, whatever you can do. But it is going to be scarce.
Yeah.
But obviously not so scarce because at the end, or near the end, in the bunker, they got the sprinkler
They have the
system,
sprinkler
which is a
system,
great
right.
idea for this because you're fighting a fire-based opponent.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad idea. So water is scarce. But then again, they were planning that, and they've been establishing it for a long time because they have the tomato rows or the garden with
that had
all
a
the
sprinkler
tomatoes.
system.
Yes, and they had a
Yeah.
sprinkler system, and so
So they're getting water from somewhere. They
But
have they have some sort of technology or system where they can source water seemingly from the ground.
But that I will say this: the water they used in the fire trucks, on the Dragon in the garden, and the water they used in the bunker, that easily could have been salt water because water's water in that case. You're not drinking it.
Good point.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and they are on an island because they're somewhere near London.
Mm-hmm.
They're somewhere in the British Isles. So they're on an island. So I don't know how far. We'll just assume if they're close enough to the ocean, maybe set up a rudimentary aqueduct system like the Romans did and bring enough water in. And if they're just using it for that, then you got to think that's abundant. But the drinking water is going to be scarce.
Or they can even take the trucks, drive it out to the coast, fill the trucks up, drive the trucks back to the castle, fill up whatever tank they use for their sprinkler system. Do it that way.
That's a great point.
But I don't think they can water crops with salt water, can you?
No.
I didn't
But
think
but
so.
well, that's a good point. They got those pumper trucks, so they could easily drive them to the ocean to fill it up. So they fill up the tank for the bunker, and then fill up the pumper trucks to pump at the Dragons, and that'd be perfect. And the other thing we have to think of, it is the British Isles, and we touched on this with the aliens. Fuck you, M. Night Shyamalan. That they have a lot of rain there. So if they have some type of catchment system,
Yes.
they could catch water to drink, and it would water the plants, and they could catch some
Yes.
to water the plants.
That is probably more likely that they have some sort of water catch.
Which is a good thing to have in general, if you're not like secluded in a bunker, and they're in a great location for it. Again, Seattle and the Brits.
They're always
fucking
going
in
to
a
fucking
great
survive.
sons of bitches, hipsters and fucking Brits.
Hipsters and Brits. Fuck.
But anyway, so they are in a good location with all that rain. That's drinkable water, and you don't even have to filter it. If you have a clean catchment system, you can catch it and drink it
Yeah.
because it's gone through the process. And I don't think dragon farts, as they're flying through the air, are going to contaminate it. So
No.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, I'm on a thought pattern.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Which one? I mean, we're going to have to choose. Do you want to be a hipster or do you want to be a Brit? I think I got to go Brit.
Over hipster?
I fucking
Fuck
hate
yeah!
hipsters.
I can't fit in skinny jeans. Look at me.
Yeah, I know. Skinny jeans can't fit me.
Oh fuck
No.
yeah!
So we got to move to England.
We got to move to England.
I got to work on my accent.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, maybe you know how women over here swoon for a British accent? Maybe it's reversed over there. They like a good American accent.
That's a great point.
You never know.
That's a great point.
Could be
We'll be knocking
cleaning
them
up. Yeah, food. Ready to move on to food?
dead. Scarce.
Very scarce. The people were obviously close to starving because they went out and picked the tomatoes before they had germinated. Because obviously, Batman, as usual, knows what's going on, and he's aware of the fact that if they were to eat the tomatoes too soon, they couldn't get the seeds, and need the seeds to plant the tomatoes for next season, next
Right.
year. So he was looking long term. So he's obviously smart because he knows enough to think, hey, we need the seeds. Don't eat them too
Yeah.
quick.
Even
And
though we're hungry, we need to stay sustainable.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that was very smart. But food is scarce. Again, if you have a supply of food, that'd be great. Obviously, this is a long-term survival situation. So, and I don't know if we ever touched on this in the past. I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago. But seeds, heirloom seeds,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can keep those.
We have touched on that actually.
Okay, I couldn't remember if we did
as
or not.
part of your supplies in your bunker, your supply shelf, your supply room, your supply area, whatever it is. Sure, it's great to collect all the stuff we've talked about. Excuse me. Freeze dried food, that kind of stuff. But seeds, definitely put aside some heirloom seeds, some seeds that are going to continue to produce year after year. And you have to specifically go out and look for heirloom seeds because we have, what's the word? Altered, what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh
We've
yeah,
altered our
yes, like a lot of like watermelons, all the seeds that are quote unquote seedless. Those seeds won't germinate.
Right.
So you have a lot of fruits and vegetables that we've bioengineered. I don't know if that's the right term, but
Probably,
we've
yeah.
crossbred or we've done something so that it's more palatable because we don't have to eat the seeds. We don't like the seeds,
Right.
but they can keep. So it's almost like a what is it? Is it a mule? A horse and a donkey makes a mule.
Yeah.
But once you make the mule, it can never reproduce. It's almost
Right.
like that.
Right.
They've got it where they can keep making all this fruit and vegetables, but you could never take the seeds from that and turn it into something else.
Right. So basically, you cannot go to an American grocery store, buy a bunch of tomatoes, buy a bunch of whatever, you name it, squash, zucchini, watermelon, take the seeds from it, plant it in your garden. It will not grow anything because they've been bioengineered to just be a one-time. The farmer grows it, you eat it, and that's it. They won't reproduce. You have to seek out heirloom seeds for them to keep producing crop after crop. So
Yeah.
put some of those aside.
Because, I mean, in this case, and this is, the aliens in the first one, they were a fucking, wet dream apocalypse. Then you had the
Pun intended.
exactly biologic weapon. The second one through was climate. So in the last two, you're talking long term survival. So you're talking even if you have a year's worth of freeze dried food or MREs, and you're talking with this one and the climate change one, you're going to have to restart. This is a true apocalypse. That you're going to have to restart everything that you did before, whatever your job is. You're an accountant, you're a bus driver, whatever. That's all done. You're now a farmer and a fighter. That's
Yep.
what I'm going to say.
And a hunter.
Well, yeah, and a hunter. But my point is that everything you do now is just about survival. It's not, I got to get through this 8, 9, whatever, how many hours you work a day, 16 hours a day if you work that hard to make it through, to get some sleep out. No, everything you do is about your survival. So this one, and again, it's all about preparedness, heirloom seeds, and maybe even, if you don't know, at least a book on farming or gardening. Maybe try to learn now if you could. At least get a book on it so you could read up on it.
Definitely.
As you're hiding and eating your freeze-dried food.
Good point. Set a book aside, set an agriculture book aside, just so even if you don't want to learn it now. That's a great tip. It's a top tip, mate.
Hey, you're getting ready.
I am.
YouTube is a great tool. I mean, I know a lot of people, poke fun at YouTube, but you can learn some stuff on YouTube if you do it now.
Yeah.
Once the dragons come,
Then it's
no
that's all
Wi-Fi,
done. Yeah, that's all done.
no YouTube, you fucked.
Yeah.
So you really need to, if you want to learn a skill now, you can start learning. But if you don't, at least pick up a book,
Put it on your shelf.
because your
Next to your
iPhone
food.
is not going to be any good
No.
unless you want to throw it at somebody.
No. Yeah.
So
It'll be an iPod,
yes.
so you can play music on it for about 10 hours, and then that's done. So, yeah. Your phone's done. Yeah, good call. Book on agriculture. You could put a book aside for a lot of different things if you don't want to just learn them right now. Put a book aside on if you're not a hunter and you don't know how to field dress an animal and you don't know how to skin an animal, you don't know how to harvest the meat from it and tan the hide and everything else, get a book.
Yeah.
Put it on the shelf. You don't have to do it right now. If you're not a hunter, you might think that harvesting an animal is kind of gross and messy, and it's messy, but you get used to it. But I can tell you, if you're a couple months in, you're running out of food, and now you have to start shooting, it will not seem gross to you at all. You will be jumping up and down, saying prayers of thanks if you get a deer, and what you in your past life, as you just explained, it's your past life now. That's no more. Your past life, what you thought was gross, now you're going to be all for it. So get a book, and you want to, even on harvesting animals, set that aside. Don't have to do it now if you don't want to.
No.
If you don't want to, but
Ideally, I will say if you could take the time and the money and you have the wherewithal, not wherewithal, but just the inclination to learn these skills now. Some of them, not all of them, but just some of them, and that way you've got them kind of stored away and ready to go. That'd be ideal. That'd be the best because then you don't need a book. But maybe if nothing else, identify deficiencies in what you don't know, which for a lot of us is everything. You could at least get some books on. I mean, hey, if you got a good book, it tells you how to do it. At least you have some type of reference material, something you can look back on when you need to use or learn that skill. So,
Yeah.
so that doesn't really, that's, you call it miscellaneous, but food, you got to eat. You got to learn how to grow it because even if those dragons were to die off, let's say they burned up everything, and then within a 2-year period, Batman and Matthew McConaughey don't kill them, then they just die out or go hibernate again because they're fucking stupid and they're waiting for somebody to dig them up again, and you're going to restart. It's safe. Like at the end of the movie, there's no dragons. You can start planting. You can start rebuilding. You got to rebuild. It's not going to be, oh, good, dragons are gone. Where's the truck? I'm standing at the superstore.
Yeah.
Where's the food at?
It's all over now. Okay, bring the food.
Yeah,
okay, guys?
Where's my mac and cheese?
Everything's fine. Let's get it going again.
They're all dead.
Yep.
You're a survivor, and you got to survive.
Yeah.
So, shelter, a bunker. Again, in this one, I think a bunker was a great thing to have because, and granted, they had the sprinkler system because of the fire, but if you had some type of fireproof bunker deep below the ground, the dragon couldn't get to it.
Yeah. If you're underground, if your bunker's in the ground, and even if you can, well, do you think that they would scratch and claw and try to dig up the opening to get into it? I mean, I don't know.
He didn't try to dig his ass out of that cave.
No, he didn't.
I guess it depends on how deep it is.
Dicks.
They're stupid dicks.
They're not dicks. They're not stupid. They're stupid dicks.
Now, it depends on how deep it is. If you've got it a few feet under the ground, under some dirt.
Yeah.
But if you've got it, now we're talking, your government, but if you got it underneath a mountain, I think you're good. I mean, you got all that rock. He can't dig himself out of his fucking cave. He's waiting on these fucking meat bags to come get him out. He's praying eventually the dinosaurs are going to fucking turn into apes. I don't know, evolution, obviously. And then the apes are turned to people. And then fucking Batman's going to grow up and get bad grades. And his mom's going to dig a fucking tunnel. And he's going to get out and he's going to eat everybody. That's a bad fucking plan.
That's a terrible plan. That is a very specific plan.
Very specific.
Way too specific.
If he actually
Keep
crawled
your
into that
options a little
cave,
bit more open.
If he crawled into that cave thinking eventually Batman's mom's going to get me out of here, you're stupid.
I'm counting on Patrick Bateman. I'm counting on him. I'm going to go to sleep now. And I know when I wake up, I can count on Patrick Bateman. Patrick Batman.
I can count on Patrick Batman until fucking Matthew, all right, McConaughey shows up. I'm going to be living large. And then I'm fucked. Because Batman's going to come back again and kick my ass.
I just thought of and I know it's obvious and, well, we've already told you people, we're idiots, so don't judge me. I'm an idiot. I just realized the cycle of the movie. Patrick Batman was the first person that the bull dragon saw when it woke up.
Yes.
Patrick Batman was the last person the dragon saw.
Yes.
Pretty interesting.
It's a circle of life.
Yeah, for him.
It is. Again, the moral of the story is they're stupid dicks, a.k.a. the dragons, and never fuck with Batman. Those are the two morals. You never fuck with Batman.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm smart enough to be clear on that because I don't have a reptilian brain. I would never fuck with Batman.
That's true. Even Superman can't beat Batman. A castle sucks. That's what I put for shelter. Because obviously you think, I got a fucking castle. I'm a king. I got these walls. Fucking dragon tore it apart.
Oh, yeah.
Tore it apart.
Castle's a great, castle against humans, but clearly not against dragons.
Yes, not
he
against
just perched right up on top of that thing and, blew fire straight down the pipe, right down to the middle. It was no good.
Now, ideally, like they had, I will admit that a castle/bunker system would be tits because food's scarce. There are still people around, obviously. We've said it before, there are bad people out there. We're all going to join arm in arm in Kumbaya to fight the dragons. Some people are like, I got to look out for me, and I'm going to kill you and take and whatever to survive these dragons. So a castle with walls and it's secure and you can defend against the people, and then a bunker to hide in would be okay. But if you're just looking for something to protect you from dragons, the castle sucks.
Yeah, that's a good point. You would want the castle because people are still going to be a threat. Really, we do have to hand it to them on shelter for this one because they did have that 2-tier system of protection in their shelter. They had the castle to protect against humans, even though once the Kentucky regulars showed up, if they wanted to take that castle, they could have easily done it. But they had fucking tanks. I mean, come on.
Well,
Tanks that never fired a shot.
I was going to say that never fired a fucking shot.
You see the giant bull dragon flying up over the horizon coming to burn all your shit, and you don't turn that big 100 and some millimeter and boom, at least let one go.
I don't know how big that is. That's got to at least be a 40 fucking millimeter.
I don't know. Tanks.
I'm not a tank guy. 40 fucking millimeter shell. At least crank one off.
Yeah.
If you clip it, it's a big ass bull dragon.
Yeah.
It's gonna fucking at least wobble it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No,
instead he stands with this pump shotgun, which nothing against pump shotgun, but
they only go 12 feet.
He's cranking away with this fucking pump shotgun.
Yeah.
Which he probably has buckshot, which is fucking useless. He doesn't even have like deer slug, which is at least a decent size, fucking like the size of my dick. I'm thickness flying at somebody.
Yeah. No. Pump short barreled.
Yes.
Pump action buckshot shotgun. They're all out of their vehicles. Second of all, none of them are in their at least somewhat fireproof vehicles. That's why they have them, because they're somewhat fireproof.
Yes, a tank is going to be somewhat fireproof.
Battle dragons. None of them are in the vehicles. They're all caught outside the vehicle. And what does he tell them to do? They like make a plan, and he tells them, okay, rally up and go back. And does he tell them to go get in the vehicles? I think he tells them to just like lock and load.
Well, no, I think it's first mount up. We're going to find another way.
Okay.
You're going to back out and find another, which is another thing.
So the bull catches them before they're able to get in their vehicles? Is that what happened?
You have a fucking helicopter.
Yeah.
The point of the helicopter, in my opinion, is to scout out the path that you're going to take. Why the fuck is the helicopter flying right above them and lets them drive right into a fucking dead end, basically?
I thought of that too.
There's no way they can get through.
Yep.
Why isn't she not flying at least a half mile, a mile ahead, saying, "Oh, stop here, boys. Oh, no."
Yeah, stop here where you can turn around, not when you get down there in the fucking trap.
Even if they can't 100% turn around, but yeah, she lets them drive right up into the fucking kill box.
Yeah.
Shitty job, helicopter pilot. I don't care how hot you are.
And another thing, okay, she's a fucking helicopter pilot. Seems to be military helicopter pilot, and they bring a helicopter that has no armaments whatsoever. Their only function for the helicopter is to scout, which we just covered did a really shitty job.
Yes.
And to throw meat bags with parachutes out of it to try and get... Are you fucking kidding me? Get an Apache. Get some fucking rockets, for fuck's sake. Get some Hellfire rockets and a fucking Vulcan cannon. Hey, if she would have been there, which she wasn't, but if the helicopter would have been there when that bull dragon came up and started just burning everything... Hey, give it hell. It might take you down. It might blow up the helicopter and kill you, but you can at least fire off a pod of rockets at it, hit it a few times. It's going to hurt. It may not kill it, but it's going to fucking hurt it.
Even if you don't have an Apache, which is because you need a platform that hauls people, because they're going to jump out. You could take a fucking, not Apache, but they use them in Vietnam. One of those type of helicopters. Huey.
Black Hawk.
Black Hawk. Huey. They mount 2 fucking Gatling guns on the side. Yeah. Okay, you need the room. Your idea is they jump out, you catch them with nets, and you bring them down. I got no problem with that. If that's how you hunt dragon, I've never hunted a dragon. Yeah. I'll leave it to them.
Definitely an amateur at hunting dragons. I'll admit that.
Yes, complete amateur. But you can't at least strap a couple fucking Gatling guns on that thing.
Sure.
And that way, when you are flying, oh shit, I guarantee 2 Gatling guns is gonna bring down a fucking dragon.
It's going to definitely hurt it and change its
mind.
Or
if you at least clip its wing and throw it off a little bit, and then maybe... Nothing?
Or door guns.
Door guns?
Door guns on a Black Hawk. You don't even have to mount that. They come that way.
Yes.
You can find a Black Hawk laying around with, a 20 millimeter Vulcan cannon?
I think
I'm
they
not
have
an expert on
those,
the
or they even
military
at least have
things.
like a
I'm sure there's military
a
guys.
saw at least on there. Fully automatic
Something.
door gun.
I'd want one of those Vulcan cannons.
Oh, I would too. I would too. But I'm saying
There's military
minimum.
guys that are coming out of their skin right now
You
listening
dumb
to us. You
fucks, you
fucking
what?"
idiots. You don't know what a fucking millimeter for a Vulcan cannon is. Sorry, military guys. We weren't military. We just know that they're cool. We don't know what the calibers are. Forgive us. Anyway, Vulcan cannon door gun on your Huey. Whatever. You're flying around scouting. You see one fly by. Hey, take a rip at it. Take some shots.
Couple rocket pods,
Yeah.
missiles, something.
A helicopter should not be a defensive only type of weapon type device. In this apocalypse, you should make it offensive as well. Anyway.
It's got to be able to do something.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
It's a fucking helicopter.
Yeah, don't have something so cool and,
And
not use it.
You're not talking like you got a budget issue. Like you can't find. And that's the only fucking helicopter you could find that was functioning.
Yeah.
You couldn't find one that had some type of guns on it.
Right. You can have as many as you want. Nobody's telling you no.
Yeah.
They're laying around.
I'm sure there's weight restrictions because it's a helo. But you got to be. I mean, how many times you've seen fucking war movies where there's 6 or 7 guys? Fucking the Mel Gibson movie before everyone found he hated Jews. We Were Soldiers.
Yeah.
They come flying in. They got 2 door gunners on each chopper and at least 6 guys per chopper, I think. Does that sound about right?
Sure, yeah.
So
On
you've
the old
obviously
Hueys.
on the old Hueys.
Yeah.
So you got 2 pilots, 2 door gunners. That's a 4-man crew, and we'll say 6 squad members.
So 10 guys.
So 10 guys. They can hold 10 guys. There was the helicopter pilot, the hot chick, the hot blonde, 3 archangels who jump, and that was it. So you've got the weight.
Yeah.
Obviously, fuel wasn't an issue because she's flying all over the fucking place.
She did fucking fly that thing an awful lot for them being on well, we're running out of supplies, we're running out of people.
Well, they did.
we're running
They
out of food.
crashed.
And they have as much fucking
When they
jet fuel as they need, though.
When they flew in to the British Isles to land, they crashed, he said. And he lost a couple hundred men. Who the fuck's flying that? And the helicopter, it's not going to fly along. It had to be packed on the ship.
Yeah, it had to be on the thing. No, did you catch how they came in? I heard it. I went right past it. Were they on a larger aircraft? Were they on a ship?
Yes, they were on a larger aircraft. That was the intent. As they flew in on some type of, they said they found like a C-1, and obviously it's not just one C-130. I'm not a military guy, but it's not big enough for all that.
Maybe that was it. Maybe there was a couple of them, and the one that crashed had all those men on it. They were on the one that had the vehicles and the supplies, and they survived.
All right, fair enough.
So they were on the vehicle C-130. The one that was transporting
all
all
the
his people, his troops, it's the one that crashed.
All right,
That
a couple
makes sense.
C-130s.
Okay.
All right, fair enough. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
answered that first because I was actually kind of confused on it. So now that actually makes sense.
Yeah, all right. I'll give you that one. All right, we'll give him that one. So shelter. Anything else? Move on to weapons or
No.
all right, weapons.
Oh, here we go.
Here's what I'm thinking. We got our 4 weapons. That's
For
our new
weapon
thing.
/tool.
/tool that you're going to use.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, I've thought of the perfect means to fight dragons. All right, and if you come up with it, you get to name it. Right?
Yeah.
Agreed? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right,
It's
agreed.
like
I
a
want to make
star.
sure. All right, here's what you do. They eat meat. I don't care what the fuck they say. They eat the people, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to eat meat. So if they see a cow, you think they'll eat a cow?
Okay. Sure.
All right, here's what you do. And I can't do it. But there's military out there. They're going to fight them. Get somebody who knows demolitions. All right? You take a bunch of C4.
Oh my God.
You strap it to the cow.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, remote detonator. Fucking dragon comes in, grabs the cow. He starts to eat it. You hit the detonator, blows his head off. And you know what you call him? Cow booms. Come on! I'm dropping the mic. Cow booms. You've just defeated all the dragons. They fly in to grab the cows. You got a remote detonator. You're hiding in the ditch. You're like, fuck you, dragon. Boom.
Kaboom.
Another kaboom.
You have to say it every time
And you
you
have
do
to
it.
say it.
Kaboom.
Kaboom. Kaboom. That's how I would fight him.
Oh, that's good. And why wouldn't someone had
One
thought of that?
C4 arrow,
Yeah.
C4 tipped arrow which C4 is very powerful.
Sure.
But a small amount was enough to blow out its neck. When he swallowed it, he did swallow it. Kind of like the cow boom. He's going to try to swallow it. He grabs it in his mouth And once he grabs it, you hit it, it's going to blow his head apart.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially a female. They're smaller.
Yeah.
He grabs a cow, you put even a modest amount of C4 on that thing, Simtex, whatever.
Yes.
Boom.
He's gone.
Great idea. And why wouldn't someone have thought of that? That's
I thought of it watching the fucking movie.
Instead, you're gonna...
What is it, an hour and a half, 2 hour movie? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Why doesn't somebody just
Let's see.
blow it up from the inside?
What makes more sense? A truck with a fucking Moby Dick harpoon on it?
Right.
Or let's strap some explosives to something that's going to eat anyway.
Fuck a dog.
Nah, I'm going Moby
cat.
Dick. I'm going Moby Dick. Come on, guys. Rally up. Moby Dick. Let's go.
Fucking Moby Dick it.
Let's go. Jump on the C-130. We got the Moby Dick mobile. Bob, shut the fuck up. Get on the truck. We're going. We're going to London.
Fuck yeah. But weapons, I guess small arms, completely useless against the dragons. Small arms are useless.
Yeah, because he had a high-powered rifle, and it was just plinging right off the bull.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right. What 4 weapons/tools are you bringing? You want me to start?
Well, I think we're clear at this point. We're going to bring explosives.
Yes.
So, yeah, go ahead. You go.
I would bring number 1, and then I don't have one, and I'm assuming that with everything decimated, you could find one. I would like to find an M4 M203 combo. I do not know if that's basically like a fully auto AR-15. And it's got the little grenade launcher underneath.
Right.
And with the grenades, we've established explosives are very good. So it's dual purpose. One, the machine gun, good for people, for if they're going to loot or scavenge or cannibals. We've kind of go over that. And then the grenade launcher, not so bad against dragons. That's number 1. Now, I also put in there my good old Glock 40 because, again, people. You got to shoot people.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, dragons. A Barrett 50 cal. Now, I'm not saying you're going to shoot them out of the sky, but what if you are in a position where one lands? You put out a trap, maybe an animal, and he goes in to eat it. You're telling me that from you're hidden someplace, a sniper type situation. And I'm not a sniper, but you can't tell me you can't line one of those up for like its eyeball. That 50 cal round's gonna punch through his brain. The harpoon punched through it.
Yeah, well, let's look at this. Let's look at the function of the 50 cal round on that platform. What it was made for. That was not created as a soft target rifle. That was created as a hard target rifle. That was made to punch through the armor of tanks. I know Dragon. You can tell their skills are tough, but I don't think they're tougher than a fucking modern tank. So you got a 50 cal that'll punch the armor of a modern tank. I think it'll punch through a Dragon as well. I think you just take a headshot with the 50 cal.
I want to say that I looked it up, and the 50 cal was either a half an inch or an inch of armor, current military armor. It'll go through. I mean, it's not going to like punch through go through this tank and the next tank and the next tank. Right. But I mean, that's enough, I think, to punch through a Dragon. Yeah. So, you're not going to run around with this big old rifle, just bam, bam, bam. But if you could set up some type of bring them in, and I get a headshot, I bet you'd go through the head. Yeah. And boom,
especially if you have what they are supposed to use, a depleted uranium bullet in your cartridge, like a 50 cal cartridge with a depleted uranium bullet head. Or bullet. I don't want to mix terms. I'm pretty sure that would do the job. But you have to set up ambushes, lie in wait. But that goes back to your cow booms.
Yes,
you have to be smart.
You got to be smart.
You have to be smart. Set up ambushes. Set up traps. Scenarios where it's food they're going to come in for. Hell, in this, just based off the baseline of the movie, which is we're always supposed to go off of, just off the baseline of the movie, you could do it with their little garden thing. Make a garden. Somehow lure them to it and show them, look, hey, there's stuff here that you can burn to ash and then eat it. Here you go. And then once they go to that spot, boom. Yes. You do either a cow boom or a 50 cal. One of the two.
Hell, you could even go, I didn't put it down, but you could even go landmines or explosives in the ground.
Yeah, IED.
Or how about this? Why didn't nobody, I'm not talking like a regular shotgun, but you're telling me that the military couldn't quickly put up some type of like just 50 caliber balls, like balls, lead balls, some type of, when a Dragon comes in, it just spreads these balls of 50 caliber or 45 caliber rounds, like across this huge area, like like almost like scatter shot, like some big cannon that shoots, like a big scatter shot, like a super shotgun. that it'll tear up its wings enough that it falls to the ground, and then you just run up there and fucking kill it?
Yeah.
Really? No military in the world came up with anything other than just to nuke them? Because it said at one point they tried to nuke them and it made it worse. Really?
How did that make it worse?
Well,
how did a fucking nuke make it worse? Other than killing everybody in the area.
Which the dragons were going to do anyway.
Right.
So it didn't make it worse.
No, I don't think a nuclear weapon spawned more dragons. It couldn't have made it worse, per se.
And who's going to nuke an air-based dragon? Like, even if you have 100 dragons flying in, you're like, oh, throw a nuke at them.
Hit one of them.
You're going to hit a couple of them.
Yeah, no.
So, no.
I like the scatter shot thing.
The scatter shot. That wasn't my thing, but just
I mean, come on. They can't, the military can't kill some dragons. Are you fucking kidding me? A battleship out on the water with their little infrared. Okay, they have Vulcan cannons on those fucking battleships that can shoot a missile out of the air that's incoming to hit the battleship. It's the little defensive Vulcan cannons they have that are
right.
Highly computerized, obviously. I don't know what they use for tracking, but they're able to track a missile and shoot it out of the air, and that can't fuck up a dragon. Hey, there's a dragon coming in. Train that thing on that, and let it rip. And,
all right, let's say that's heat infrared. That's how it tracks the missile. Okay? You're telling me that you can't, with a basic security system, you have what's called a home security system. You have a motion detector. Just say, all right, hey, people, get the fuck out of the sky. And seriously, everybody, get the fuck out of the sky. Nobody flies anymore. There's dragons, all right?
Yeah.
And you set up all these fucking Vulcan cannons, motion detected, and you just point them towards the sky so they can't, like, come down and shoot a boat going by.
Sure,
it has
it has a horizon that it can't go below.
Thank you.
Anything above the gun's horizon.
And here comes a dragon like, oh, I'm going to fuck up the...
and
bloosh, and he drowns.
Yeah, give me a fucking break. So here we go again, picking apart the ridiculousness of the movie, but okay. And sure, the dragons did it. They killed everything.
The last weapon I'm bringing
is
a sword. It's not going to do any good, but if I'm fucking going dragon hunting...
You're supposed to have a sword.
I have a sword.
So you're talking like big English broadsword.
Like a big fucking Conan the Barbarian fucking sword. Because if I'm going out and he's coming for me, I'm at least going out swinging a sword.
Well, that's funny. That's similar to...
He had an axe.
To Mikana. Yeah, he went out flying through the air with an axe. Yeah.
So that's mine. What do you got?
Shit. Actually, I think I would try to get my hands on like an AT-4.
Oh yeah,
rocket launcher.
That would be good.
Hopefully, a box of rockets, ammo to go with it. Are those are reusable, right? The AT-4s. I know there's a certain rocket launcher out there that's a one-use thing. You shoot it and it's done. But I think the AT-4 is reusable.
I think it's a law. Like it's just a tube and a rocket, and you shoot it and you throw the tube away.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think you're right. Again, not military. I don't know this stuff. I know the one military guy out there is listening. Is like, if I ever find you guys, I'm going to punch you in the mouth. Sorry, military guy.
But Band of Brothers, I'm sure you've seen that. They have in World War II. They had a bazooka with reusable rockets, so it's almost the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. So it probably is. I'm sure an AT-4
there's some out
is
there. There's some type
so an AT-4, and I think they're heat signature tracking, I believe. So again, hopefully that would help.
Yeah, because they never established. I'm going back one. Because they never established whether they're hot blood or not. Can you eat a dragon?
That's a good point.
Can you eat a dragon?
They looked meaty.
That's what I mean. Now, survival show. I know I'm jumping back to food. I wrote it down and I forgot to say it. You eat lizards in survival shows.
Sure.
Like Bear Grylls will fucking take a salamander and grill it up and eat it. Can you eat a dragon?
I would say yes.
Nobody try. Here's this fucking. They're starving. Here's this fucking dragon. Everyone say,
Yeah, that's only about I don't know, several thousand pounds of meat.
Could we chop off a piece and cook it and give it a fucking whirl?
Yeah, give it a shot.
Hey, Bob. You hate Bob. Yes, Bob.
Exactly. Bob, try this. Where'd you find meat?
I found a deer. It was amazing.
Try it. Tell us how it is. And then everybody sits there and watches them for 2 hours. What are y'all staring at me? No reason.
No reason.
How was that meat? It was delicious. Okay. And just wait and see if Bob dies. If not, hey,
fucking good.
Dragons are a meal now. Now you're not just killing them for like survival of species. Now you're killing them to eat them for survival. But hey, and another thing, from a hunter's point of view, cut the heart out of that thing. Eat a slice of its heart just for the fact that you killed it.
Yes.
You know?
Because it's obviously, I'm assuming they're not poisonous because they cover that there was glands in the mouth, and there's two types of compound or whatever they said, and when they combine, that's what creates the fire. So it's not like they're just breathing. It's not in their whole system. It's
It's almost like the venom of a snake. It's only right there. And
if you stay away, chop the head off, throw the head away.
Yeah.
Don't
put
mess
it on
with
your
the
wall.
head.
No,
Put it on your wall. Put it on your
Dragon
wall.
skull on the wall. Oh, man.
True. You want to be badass. But the point is, you don't have to mess with it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
And then you eat everything else. Or try it.
Absolutely.
Fuck. Anyway,
I didn't even think of that. That's a great one for food.
I looked down, saw my notes,
dragon.
and I forgot about it.
Weapon AT4. God, I want to steal yours because those were good ones. Stealing it from the movie. Yeah, maybe like a large axe type weapon like that to do kind of the coup de grace that he does at the end. They take the dragon down, but then he gives it one of the brain to make sure it's dead.
Good move.
Maybe develop. Now, this is not something I'd take. I'd have to probably come up with it, but just some sort of fire-resistant shield that you can stand behind if you're going to go toe-to-toe with the dragon. Kind of like, the old medieval times. Your dragon slayers, they'd have a shield, and they'd hunker down behind it while the dragon was blowing its fire and then come out with the sword. So maybe a dragon, like a fire-resistant shield, if that's even possible. I don't know. Their fire seems pretty nasty, though.
I had this in miscellaneous, but I'll jump to it now. They had those fireproof suits.
Yeah.
And if you remember when the dragon landed in front of the two fire trucks when they're in the garden, the first guy on the pumper dies because he's not wearing a suit.
Right,
the top
but the
gets
other
burned
guy...
off. But the other guy was fine.
Yeah.
So...
he made it through. That's a good point.
If you could make a suit, or you have that suit, and you could make it like almost like a protective armored-ish suit with that over top, a shield with that type of protection.
Yeah.
And you could, what if you go all Roman on them, and you get a group of and you form a shield wall, and you're fireproof, and he comes in, a phalanx. Thank you very much. And then you hunker down, and you come up and shoot a rocket at it, or you come up and you shoot fucking a harpoon gun apparently at it, or something, and then when you wound it, and you all run in there and fucking hack it to death.
And then eat it.
Or wound it, throw a couple grenades at it, boom, boom, boom. Or you hunker down, throw a couple grenades at it, boom, boom, boom. It's wounded, you run in there, you kill it, you eat it. And you're like, thank you, dragons, fuck you, now we're hunting you. Who's Apex Predator again?
Yep.
Man.
Flip the script, motherfuckers.
Fuck you.
That's what you get for being stupid dicks.
Yes. So, all right, shield.
I mean, I'm just going to have to say survival knife just for everyday stuff. I mean, obviously, it does nothing against dragons. So I have an AT4,
right?
Some sort of shield, fire protective shield. Those are both for dragons. Knife. Oh yeah, I have to have a weapon against people. Probably just go with my A4 or M4 platform.
Yeah.
For people.
Yeah.
Versatile. You can use it for many things. Hunt, defend, whatever. So, not going to do shit against a dragon as we've seen, but for everyday life when you're worried about marauders coming through, yeah, you got to have something like that.
Also, I wonder if you could make, like back in medieval times, they had like a pole arm. And it's just like a long stick with a pointy axe head on the front. So it's like a spear axe thing. But what if you had a hollow tube and you could put some type of imagine like a big tube and you put a projectile in the end, almost like a one-use shotgun, and you put your fire suit on and you fucking get up close and jab the fucking thing and then pull or let her rip and pull something, and a fucking pointy projectile like this fucking harpoon thing that he used, which I can't believe took down a fucking dragon.
To be the best weapon for a dragon,
and it shoots out a fucking pointy harpoon through this tube, so you get up close, stab it, pull, let it rip, boom, like a shotgun shoots out this slug, this pointy slug, it tears through the dragon, and you fucking hack it to death and eat it.
You're into the hacking thing. Hack to death and eat it. But that's dual purpose. You hack it to death and you're making steaks at the same time because you're going to eat it.
If I see a fucking dragon, I'm hacking it. I don't give a shit. I'm hacking it. That's what he fucking gets for coming to my fucking country with his British ass and trying to fucking burn up everything.
Holy shit! The dragons were all Brits. They're all from Britain. They're
was-
all Brits.
Can we call this
Fucking
the Second Revolutionary War?
Oh,
I got it. Revolutionary War Part 2. The Brits Strike Back. Boom! That's what this is.
Subtext: the Brits are dragons.
Twist: Brits are dragons.
Oh shit. Yeah, I guess that's all I really got for weapons. And then just other considerations as usual. If you have a medical condition, have your medicine, whatever. We go over it. Have your water, have your food stores. But this one, as you said, is long term. So this is one where you're going to go through your food stores, and then you're going to have to start actually growing and producing your own food, because now you're in for the long haul.
Because they're not going to fly in, kill the Johnsons next door, and then disappear forever.
All right.
I mean, even if you had a bunker and you're safe and you ride this shit out and they eat themselves to death because they've destroyed everything, and you've got enough supplies and food and a strong bunker that you can last a couple of years, and you've got some way like a fucking periscope, I don't know, but you look outside every once in a while, there's no dragons, and you wait months and months and months, there's no dragons, and maybe you have radio communication with Patrick Batman, and you find out hey, we killed the bull dragon. You're like, fuck yeah, fuck the British did it. All right, whatever, yeah, go Brits. And you come out of your hole, and you're gonna, all right, yeah, we're safe. Oh, everything's gone.
Yeah, you're not just going to drive down to the grocery store after that.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's time to. It's a new world.
The
It's a new
Piggly
life.
Wiggly is not going to be standing.
No more Piggly Wiggly or Winn-Dixie. It's
Yeah,
gone.
you're done. You're gone. So you're gonna have to rebuild from this one. So whatever you have for weapons, tools, food, seeds. I mean, you're gonna have to, and you can't assume that there's gonna be a fucking tractor. Maybe, man. I mean, they don't eat metal, so maybe you get lucky and
Yeah.
like maybe there's a fucking tractor supply store, or a machinery place that's untouched and get some gas and
Yeah, you could probably
You might-
source
that-
vehicles.
yeah,
They
yeah.
sourced vehicles.
They sourced vehicles, that's
'Cause
true.
even the castle people had a few trucks, had their fire trucks, had some regular trucks.
the one truck they drove to probably pick the produce
Yeah.
at the beginning, and then they.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think you can source vehicles. So, all right,
miscellaneous. You got anything? I had fireproof suits. I brought that up earlier. They seem to work.
that would definitely.
Obviously,
be good
that's
to
the
have.
fire. If they try to bite your claw, you're fucked there.
True.
But for the
Those were
fire,
very effective against the fire.
yes, it seemed to be very effective because Batman ran through it, and then when the guy was on top, and granted, he was not right in the front truck, he was in the back truck, but he was in the turret and he didn't die.
Oh yeah, and he was getting
Getting
engulfed in flames.
Yes,
and it didn't
so,
kill him, so
that would be my miscellaneous thing to take.
Yeah.
Be a fireproof suit, and I like the shield. If you could construct some type of shield, because then if it tries to strike you, it's still going to be a strong blow. It might knock you down, but you're fireproof, and you've got some type of physical protection, like from claws
blunt
and
force.
tails and
Sure.
blunt force. Thank you.
Yeah. So,
So-
just go back to the fucking medieval dragon slayers.
But with modern technology.
Yeah, exactly, with the modern twist. Yeah, that's all I'd have for that.
All right, I guess go to our rating system. 1 through 10, that's what we've settled on. How likely do you believe these dumb ass dicks of a dragon are going to come out and cause an apocalypse?
Likelihood that you need to prepare for a dragon apocalypse. I'm gonna have to put it at a 1. I'm sorry. It's got to be a 1.
I wish I
as
could
much
give it
as
a
I
0.
think dragons are quiet.
I want to give it a
I know,
0,
I wanna
but
give it
we
a
have to
0.
give it 1 through 10.
So 1.
The only thing I'll say is if you're actually preparing for a dragon apocalypse, I don't know what to say to you. I don't foresee the dragon hiding in a cave for thousands of years hoping these fucking meat bags are going to dig me out. You're very, very, but like we've covered, if you are prepared for this with a bunker underground with seeds,
Yeah.
pop, you're setting yourself up for success. But if you're watching the sky, waiting for the dragons to come, and that's your apocalypse, you're gonna be waiting a long fucking time,
Right.
Because there's a billion other apocalypses that are gonna come before this one.
Right.
So
But
I would give it a 1.
unlikelihood.
Very unlikely.
But you're right. I mean, let's just say you are some sort of, I don't want to call you a freak, but some sort of dragon person, and you just really, really wish for this to happen because you like dragons. Preparing for this would still prepare you for other apocalypse. So it's not all lost.
Except for my cow booms.
Your efforts. What's that?
Except for my cow booms.
Your cow
Because you
booms.
can't really use that against too much else.
No, cow booms are very specific to dragons. It's kind of a one apocalypse type of thing. Yeah. But preparing for this is still gonna prepare you for other apocalypse. So hey, if dragons are your thing, knock yourself out, go for it. I will have to add this last thing from me. Man, it would be fucking cool though to tame a dragon and have it as a pet if this shit happened. It's my dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon?
How to Train Your Dragon.
Are you going cartoons?
Who doesn't want a fucking dragon?
Oh, true. If you could train it
Yeah,
and put a little
we're looking
saddle
at
on
this-
that fucking thing.
Yes, we're looking at this
you're
negatively.
You're
What if you
flying
make it
through
a
the sky
positive?
like, hey, bitch, look at my dragon.
This is my dragon. But what if everybody, I mean, there's so many of the females. What if everybody could have a dragon? Everybody's got their own dragon now. This is your car that you drive to work. You don't have a job anymore. But hey, this is my new car. I have a dragon.
If you could become a professional dragon tamer, you would have the in job of that apocalypse. They'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, did you hear? Frank's a professional dragon tamer. Just for your fucking daughter and half the food you have, he'll train it. Fuck yeah!
I would have a booming business.
Yes, you
I
would.
would be the entrepreneur of this apocalypse.
Yes, you would be the fucking, Bill Gates or Steve Jobs of this apocalypse. You'd be like, how the fuck's he train those dragons?
He cornered the market.
He cornered the market, son of a bitch. So,
All right, yeah. Likelihood is a 1.
if you wanna, I guess you can. If you wanna rate us on our show, we know that's gonna probably be low, like this rating. Or if you want to send us a message, go for it. We'll maybe respond. Or we'll at least look at it, I guess. You could anyway. But anyway, that's all we got for this week. You got anything else?
I'm good.
All right. So I'm Drew,
I'm Frank.
and enjoy the apocalypse.